Thank you. We're excited to be hosting you all. I'm looking forward to attending your future events. I might pass on the taser event, but let's see if I can get a little clicker. So we're kind of excited to share a little bit about our story, Electric Playhouse, and what we're doing. And so we actually started the company in 2018, and it's a group of kind of creative technologists, so we all have different backgrounds from software. I'm an architect, as mentioned, but we all love the arts and trying to find ways to kind of bridge these two worlds, physical and digital. And really, in a sense, imagine the building as a giant smartphone, where with a click of a button, it could be almost any experience. And we like to think of it as really this canvas of infinite possibilities. So we opened up the actual store that you're in right now in February 2020. So that was great timing. You know, we're open for about 6 weeks, and then a little thing called COVID shut us down for probably like 14 months. And we were fortunate to be able to take our technology to different museums around the country and kind of build some work to the point where we could reopen. And so we've since reopened back in 2021. And then just last year, we opened in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. So we landed a beautiful spot right on the Strip. It's got a pretty incredible outdoor patio that I'll show you here in a second. And so, you know, back in 2018, we're looking around at the world and realizing, oh my God, we're all glued to our devices. And, you know, we're starting to lose that connection. I've got 3 kids. My youngest kid will be on Fortnite for, 20 hours if I didn't kick him off. And when I'm observing him playing, these games, it's just interesting because, I'll hear him talking to his friends for hours and hours. And then you hold a birthday party, you pull them all in the same room, and you can hear a pin drop. They don't know how to socialize. And, I grew up in the 80s. And I was at a time where like the Nintendo was coming out, all this cool stuff, but I still had this life where, me and my friends would play outside, we'd do stuff, come inside at night, play the Nintendo. And COVID, I think, even further exaggerated this issue because it's so digital and they don't have that balance. And so we're trying to find a way to bridge those two worlds and bring balance where we love digital, but we need to bring people together again. And so how do we do that? So the big idea there is, what more compelling way to do that is than create the experience of just jumping into your phone or jumping into a giant video game. And so kind of blend those worlds. And part of the power of what we do is that we've installed a network of sensors. And so above you, you can kind of see them up there in the ceilings, but we have a network of sensors that tracks your movement and motion throughout the space. So there's no VR headset, you're not wearing any type of controller. Your body's actually the controller in the space. And so, the tables themselves are actually interactive. For the dining experiences, it's about a foot off the table. So just imagine your wine glasses or whatever. So you'll get an optimum reaction from that type of an experience. And we take that technology and we apply it throughout the whole facility. So in the back there is our larger gamified space where, we can have large groups playing activities, and actually, after this lunch, everyone's welcome. The facility is just going to be open, so if you guys had time, you're all welcome to go back and check it out. So with that, sensor-based technology, the uniqueness of Electric Playhouse is that we can accommodate large groups all doing a shared activity at once. So some of our areas might have like one kind of interactive for a single-player game, but our larger areas can hold 30 to 40 people all doing one activity at once, and really the only limitation is the size of the physical space. And so that allows us to kind of scale, bring large groups together. And another uniqueness of the software and the proprietary platform that we've built is that all of our content actually auto-scales. So as we're looking to expand to other venues around the country, not every room is going to be exactly the same size, and so our content can just auto-adjust, and so it really allows us to kind of scale what we're creating here in Albuquerque globally. And over the last 4 or 5 years, we've developed a whole library of different experiences that we apply this technology to. So that ranges from games to dining experiences. We do immersive yoga events. We're getting more into fitness. We do concert shows, private events, and more. And so here's just a couple little clips if you haven't been to Electric Playhouse of some of our more gamified experiences. And so these are in the back area, our large physical space. And The really great thing about this is that because your body is the controller, you actually end up getting a workout. And you don't even realize it. And so after an hour, people are breaking a sweat. It's a really fun way to kind of pull people together, get physical activity, and not even realize it. And so as guests come into our venues during our admission hours, we have a series of kiosks that are all within their different interactive spaces. And so in one physical space could be dozens of different types of games and experiences. So we really allow you to have the opportunity to explore, play different games, do different activities for different groups. And one thing that we do is we actually bring total strangers together. Oh my God, it's like everyone's afraid of that, but our team has kind of been trained to get two totally different groups, and it's just such a great dynamic when you have two families competing on different activities. And that's kind of what we're trying to do in our big mission. And so through our standard admission, families, kids can come in, they can play for an hour. We do group rates, we do lots of field trips. So obviously this is a very STEM-focused environment from our engineering and arts, and we love to kind of teach how all of this stuff comes together. And then we also have a great membership program for families, and when you're out playing the games, we have a great cafe and a full liquor license too for the adults. So if they need a little break from the kids, whoop, scared you all, woke you up. It's a fun way to do that. And in our Las Vegas location, we launched a new immersive dining experience called Tea Time in Wonderland. And so we brought on the co-executive creator of the Food Network show Chopped. And so she's now our culinary creative director, and we ended up hiring a celebrity pastry chef. We built a whole world around Alice in Wonderland. And so this one really blends the art, the technology, the foodie culture, and we have a full cast of characters. So you meet the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, and other surprises along the way. So we're running this in Vegas Thursday through Sundays at tea time, which is a great time for us, and we've had an amazing kind of success with that. It's been top rated. We've had 3 million plus kind of views over the last couple months. We had another post just yesterday go up that's almost at 200,000 views. And so this is a really awesome event. So if you're ever in Vegas, come check it out. Seats start at 150. We're selling over 90% capacity. And right now we're working on some really fun new stuff, a whole mob-themed experience because we're in Vegas and it just kind of made sense. And we're considering bringing it to Albuquerque. So, kind of stay tuned for some kind of upcoming dinner events here in town. At night, we love to party. weekends, we have a number of touring EDM artists in the facility, and it's just a natural fit for us. You know, the whole environment itself is audio reactive. We have a giant interactive dance floor, and so it's a great, fun event. We typically have 1 to 2 kind of touring artists, and then we're looking at expanding our programming to likely host a number of DJs just on the nights that we don't have an artist in town. And so these are great events. These happen Fridays, Saturdays, 9 to 2 a.m. And really, a good point and stopping point there is that, you know, by having a building that with a click of a button, we could literally change what it is, it really allows us to offer a wide variety of programming throughout the day. So like early morning, we may have yoga, we may do our games in the afternoon, an immersive dining event at night, or one of these shows. And so we had a great example of a family that came in, their kids did the game, parents found out about our immersive Halloween event, they came back for dinner, and then their son came for a concert. And so that was like the perfect kind of use case of like how we could drive people back again and again. And on the So it's a great blend of that physical digital again, especially for any tourist or company hosting an event with us, as they get the best of Vegas, and then also this kind of totally immersive experience with it. Outside of the venue itself, we do a number of different activations. This one's a pop-up that we did with our friends at Visit Albuquerque. This was a really cool one. It was up in New York, and this is actually where we met Vivian, the producer of Chops, and realized she was from Albuquerque, and we just started chatting there, and now she's on our team, and so it's such a small world, and just really fun opportunities. And so we not only do pop-up activations, but we take our technology to museums, and we've got a pop-up exhibit that's opening up in Montreal in 2 months, and we tend to rotate them around the country, and it's basically kind of taking all of our gamified experiences out on the road. The other thing we love to do is host big events. Parties. When you come to Electric Playhouse, we're trying to basically kind of redefine that experience, make it fun, a big icebreaker, something where people can all do kind of different shared activities together. And one of the uniqueness of our venue itself is that we can fully customize the entire space. So think of every surface as a pixel. We have the opportunity to either have our teams design you totally themed environments, or at the most basic level, you can bring in your company, you can have your logo, team colors throughout the facility. And so we offer just a wide variety of different customization options. And so guests who come to our events, like you saw black and yellow up there, they almost feel like they're walking into like a total stadium experience. Like it doesn't feel like a ballroom, it feels like a very different thing. And so with that, we have a variety of options there. So this room itself is available for booking. We do a variety of dining experiences. I've kind of ruined our experience with this presentation, but normally the walls have like really cool visuals. We have about 24 different themes that companies or individuals can choose from. Or as we bring in our immersive dining events, those are also available for just private bookings. And so if you wanted to have a cool company Halloween party or Alice in Wonderland tea time, that's definitely an option as well. And then of course is the full facility rental. This is where we do that whole branding of the facility. Our facility also has a full commercial kitchen, so we have a full-time chef, and we can offer really fun, packages for companies. We've had some companies come in who had licenses for like Star Wars and Harry Potter, and to me, those are like the funnest things because they have a license to build that, and so we basically kind of recreate those worlds. Unfortunately, right now we can't really like share them with everyone, but they're private events. But we're starting to really get into the IP world as well. And so we've had talks with Paramount and a number of different studios about taking, IP that people know and love and starting to build either dining experiences or actual total kind of immersive experiences in the back that are all gamified. And so we're really excited about a lot of that stuff coming up. Outside of the logo and just the general like theming customization is that everything we built in-house. So everything you see, touch, feel is built by our team. And so we can be very agile. And because we own the ecosystem and the platform, we can actually do total custom games. And so we've hosted events where companies came in and they had this really fun idea of something, and we literally just recreate that game for them. This example was from a Ronald McDonald House charity event. It was an Andy Warhol themed event. And so they wanted a game where you're throwing balls at the Campbell soup cans. And so we kind of created that for them. But we've done this for just a wide variety of clients, and our team really loves getting into that. So we always encourage people to kind of think outside the box when they come to Electric Playhouse, just because our team just wants to kind of push themselves creatively as well. And we've been very fortunate to get some great press over the last year or so. So we've got the TripAdvisor Traveler Choice 2 years in a row, and we're starting to get the national press going. And so we've been featured in Forbes, Blue Loop, and Attractions magazine, and we continue to kind of build exposure around that. And especially, our location in Vegas was really, in a sense, a marketing location for us. As we're a new brand based in Albuquerque, we're trying to build brand awareness and starting to expand across the country. And so that was strategic. And then, once we opened that one, that's when we started to get all this great press and publicity. So we're excited about the traction we're getting. And something about our audience, I think I kind of already mentioned, is that we drive a ton of repeat visitation. And it's because, you're coming back for maybe a variety of different events at the same space. I've talked to several of you who have come personally for birthday parties, games, activities, and then also company events and company parties. And so we drive a lot of repeat traffic. We're programmable by time of day. And what's really interesting is 70% of our audience are millennial women. And so we try to strategically tackle that particular group, because anytime you start talking tech and games, it kind of like turns everyone away. Like, oh my God, this is like teenage boy territory. And so we've been very deliberate in trying to kind of create an environment where it's really about that togetherness, about people connecting and just doing a variety of shared experience. Our typical stay time within the venue is about 90 minutes. And we're looking at new ways that we're totally gamifying even your experience in the back through kind of an innovative score tracking system that we have a provisional patent on that will actually link your score to like video games. And so if you're doing something, healthy and rewarding in person, that you're actually going to have a digital token and redeemable point for that in the virtual world. And the power of our tech, as I mentioned, is that everything here actually could just easily port to just a variety of different verticals. And so we're exploring all kinds of different applications of this technology across, entertainment venues, restaurants, schools, museums, and more. So a little bit about some of the stuff I can share that's coming out here soon is, one of the things we're working on is a totally new restaurant concept that we're calling Forces of Nature. So currently in Albuquerque and Vegas, we offer these story-driven immersive events that are 4 to 5 courses. 100 to 150 a person. And so these are very linear, like one time a day type events. And so what we've been working on is a way where we could take this type of an experience and then bring it to more of a restaurant, kind of casual dining. So we've developed Forces of Nature with Vivian, and so we're currently finding 4 celebrity chefs. We'll have 1 per quarter, and it's basically going to be like a small plate themed within one of these worlds and environments. So say, for example, lava, you'll have 3 small plates, 3 cocktails, all themed around that. And it's an approachable menu. You can kind of stay for 1 course or stay for 10 or 12. It'll rotate every 30 minutes. And so you can start to get immersed within this environment. And so we're hoping to launch that here in the next couple months. And it'll be kind of our new take on what just a cool dining experience is with great food and visuals. We've got a whole Albuquerque themed experience that's about to launch. This one, we're trying to play with some of the escape room mechanics, digital scavenger hunt. So it's part gamified, part education. You can learn about the city. This one was actually through a tourism grant. And so we've been kind of excited and working on getting this out the door. And so we're hoping to launch that very soon. And the other big one for us is kind of really mission driven. And that's because, when we talk about getting people off the screen, what we find are the teachers are actually having a very similar challenge and issue, is that everyone's glued to their device and they're not reconnecting. And so we partnered with local nonprofit Warehouse 505, and they have an also similar mission with after-school programs. And so now we've been really focused on taking our tech, our gamified experience, and basically augmenting school gymnasiums and auxiliary gyms and porting in all of our total gamified content. So you can imagine like augmented physical ed, where kids are running around, they feel like they're in a giant video game. We can apply it to different sporting events. So, remember like Space Jam when you're running around and flames are following you. So we'll have like a total gamified basketball, different sport activities. And then also we're working on a couple education initiatives that allow basically a child or an entire classroom to kind of transport across the world. And so we take like a 3D scan of the pyramids, and instead of the kids watching a video about the pyramids, we could actually volumetrically guide them through it. And the teacher is now Indiana Jones, and they get to like have the entire class go through this experience and do something that, which sadly a lot of kids don't even get a field trip, across town right now. And so the opportunity to bring them anywhere in the world is really exciting to us. And just for us, it's like so many opportunities to kind of bridge education, physical game, but also do it in a manner that the whole classroom is now engaged. And so we've got a lot of really fun, kind of exciting initiatives in the works. These are some I can share, but we really want to partner with you guys in just fun ways. And so one, we've given everybody a free general admission ticket, a little information, but on there is a social media card with a QR code. If you scan that, a simple Google form is going to pop up. And what we want to do is, if you're interested, we need people to test these events with us. And so as we start to launch new immersive dining events, new content, new experiences, you're the audience that we'd love to kind of bring in for these types of media preview events and kind of be the first ones to experience, just because your backgrounds in hospitality, guest service. And so if you're interested in joining that program, we'd love to have you, kind of welcome you into the ecosystem, and you'll start to learn about all the new stuff that's coming up, and also various discount and partner programs that we're working on developing now. So with that, thank you, and I can open it for any questions.
What's the total capacity?
The building,
If you were to close it down and have an event,
600. Yeah.
Do you do like team building exercises, team building training, how to gel your team kind of thing?
Yeah, a lot of our games, as you'll see, if you haven't been before and you get the opportunity in the back, because we support large groups, like it's perfect for team building activities. We can have multiple teams playing different games and activities together, and then our team will kind of help guide that process. And so for us, it's a really great, networking events, pull people together just in a really fun, healthy way.
will you be able to show where
Yeah, I think if we don't have any other questions, I was gonna kind of kill the screen and maybe show you guys some kind of fun content. And so give me just 1 second and then I'll do that. You may not see the wall visuals.
Did you see the elf?
This was built really for a pop-up event, but you can start to see some of the fun stuff we've developed with some nature stuff on the table that's really about the river, the Sandia Mountains. And what happens is as you progress through each course, you know, the visuals will change around you. So this one was really inspired by turquoise. And what's crazy is this is all math based. So as our team's designing this, you know, all they see on the screen is code, but it generates these kind of beautiful visuals on the table itself. And this one was a really fun collaboration with Chef Mark and Jonas and the Visit ABQ team. And so trying to look at different ways to pull, you know, the elements that are uniquely Albuquerque and, you know, pull them all together again in just a kind of cohesive, cool way. This one's so the table itself is kind of our artistic presentation. That's and so again, move your hands like a foot over the table, don't touch the table. And that's kind of your optimal sweet spot. And so kind of move around fun. I mean, this was a really fun event. It was a great way to showcase Albuquerque in the middle of New York City. And what's fun about our platform is that, you know, once we've developed it, we actually run this in Vegas. So if you're in Vegas and you want something, you know, about the city, we can easily do that. So this is another fun one. You know, various art and experiences. And I think, let's see. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff I could show you guys. Of course, you have to have the balloons. Yeah, we've got the clouds. You can knock your balloons around. Oh, look, get out the wall. All right, so now all the walls are ready.
We're done.